Welcome. We're going to just take a few minutes and we're going to talk about an industry that is really exploding, and it is in the K-beauty sector. And if you don't know, K-beauty is really taking the world by storm, and they are absolutely growing very, very fastly. In fact, quickly, I'm going to show you exactly how quickly they are growing. Let me go ahead and share my screen, and you should be able to see this. We're going to be talking about the UK. So if you don't know this, Korea is actually considered the skincare capital of the world. And in the hardest market in the entire world to go number one in, they did it. They became the number one search for K-beauty brand in Korea, did $3 billion, sold 40 million jars of one of their most popular products. And so they did research on the top markets to move into globally. And, I will say that timing is to direct sales, like location is to real estate. And right now, your timing could not be better in the K beauty industry. So, if you didn't know this, the K beauty market right now globally is a $91 billion market, and it's growing fast. In the next 5 years, globally, it's going to be $187 billion in the next 5 years. If this tells you how fast it's going to be growing, not just that, it's also trending on Google, it's trending on social media. In fact, the hashtag Korean skincare has 41 billion views on TikTok alone. You guys, this is only going to keep growing faster, and it's only going to keep increasing. And what was really interesting to me, we know that France has always been the leader in the cosmetics industry. And in the United States, Korean skincare has now topped the list on imports over France. I'm talking, they are now the number one imported beauty industry outside of like Lancome and Estee Lauder, these brands who have been at the top of their game for decades. But here comes the K-beauty industry. And so that's why I say that timing is to direct sales, like location is to real estate, because you can make a lot of money when you ride something and you partner at the exact right time. And that's what we're going to talk about. So why are we looking at the UK? Well, here's what's interesting. So they actually did research on the top markets worldwide, the top 10 markets in demand for K-beauty. And I will say the UK is growing at one of the fastest. You have to realize that in 2023, K-beauty was valued at 584 million, but by 2032, it's going to be $1.15 billion. You guys, this is growing fast, and it is coming whether you like it or not. And so the fact that you could share a link for products that people are already searching for, it's a no-brainer. This is a no-brainer because I promise you, if they're not going to purchase it from you, they're going to purchase it from somebody else. So why is this so different? Let's talk about that. We talked about how Korea is the skincare capital of the world. Okay. And in the hardest market in the entire world to go number one in, they did it. And it was rated the number one searched for K-beauty brand, sold $3 billion, sold 40 million jars of this. This is their signature cream. This is the dermatology cream. Okay. So $40 million. You have to realize everybody, I'm sure you're familiar with Selena Gomez's Rare Beauty, and I got this stat from one of our celebrity makeup artists, Carissa, who you'll meet in a moment. But she sold 3 million units of her Rare Beauty makeup line, and now she's a billionaire and she disrupted the makeup industry. And they sold 40 million jars in one country. They were already number 22 on the DSN list before they even stepped foot outside of Korea. So here's what's happening in the UK. So they are going to have a corporate office there. They call it the House of Riemann. It is going to open on October 17th. So this is actually going to move very quickly. We are having a very early conversation about the pre-market launch. They have a dedicated GM for every market, and they do this specifically because They know that the GM knows the culture, they know the market, they know what's best for that country. And so they will have a targeted GM for the UK, and they will also start shipping from a local warehouse within the UK on October 27th. Now, their corporate office is going to be located inside the famous ARC building, which you can see pictures of it here. Now, here's what they do that's different. Riemann always does things differently. They believe in first class marketing. And so they actually hired the designer that works for the Prada stores, actually hired her to come in and design their office location. So they will be inside that famous ARC building, which has a beautiful lobby. It has, a coffee shop that you can meet with, but it will also have the corporate office. Now, these are designed for the distributors. It's not for corporate. It's for you, because these offices are used for meetings, for one-on-one events, for to come in and show people the office and showcase how incredible the brand is, and for you to host pop-up events at. So this is our full product line. Now, we won't start with the full product line when we launch in the UK. Normally, we launch with our signature dermatology line, and which is in the top left-hand corner. It's kind of those light green bottles, and I'm going to talk about what makes those different in just a moment. Now, but first, what I want to say, I want to encourage you to ask the person that invited you for this video. This is their 3-minute brand video. And here's what they did. Remember, we said they believe in first class marketing. They hired the producers who make videos for Toyota and paid them almost $1 million for this 3-minute video. And so I had a friend of mine who's an industry insider reach out to me. And she said, Bree, there's a company that did, almost $3 billion in one country. She sent me this video. I never watch videos. And you guys, I watched this twice. I was so impressed with the science and the technology behind this and the quality of the videos. This does not even look like anything that came out of direct sales. So listen carefully when you watch it. But what I can tell you is that kind of the story behind this, it was the #1 product formulator in Korea. He owns something called Ask Labs, which is the #1 product formulation lab. They were researching something called tiger grass because tigers would roll around in this because it would heal their wounds faster. He developed his own strain and technology of it, has 12 different patents on the skincare alone, was putting it on the skin. It was rapidly healing the skin in 5 to 7 days. I don't even like to call this skincare. It really is more like skin repair. And the reason why is you have to realize this is a cosmeceutical. This does things that regular skincare cannot do. Not to mention, look at the packaging. This is going to set the stage on what they are about to experience. And so not only is it a cosmeceutical, what actually defines it is a couple things. They use a microfluidizing process. It's very, very expensive equipment that allows the product to penetrate to the deepest layer of skin. Actually, if you've ever put numbing cream on your face, it's the same technology. That's why your skin is numb in 15 minutes. This allows it to penetrate to the deepest layer. It uses nanoliposomal technology to heal from the cellular level from the inside out. Not only does it have the 12 different patents, but it has exosomes. It has LMN, which actually stimulates NMN, which stimulates NAD production in the body. NAD, if you've seen it on TikTok, people are talking about this. It's like your fountain of youth, and it starts to decline as we age. That's why you want to make sure that your body is producing it. So here's what's really interesting though, is like we said, this is a cosmeceutical. And you have to realize the exclusivity on this. No one can duplicate this technology for the next 20 years. They have patents filed in Korea. They recently filed with the FDA in America. And so no one can duplicate this technology for the 20 years. So we have 20 years of exclusivity to market these products. So you can see here, one of our favorite things about this line is that it's clean. It abides by the European Union standards, but it actually goes a step further than that. It has a German derma testing, which is very hard to obtain, but they actually ban over 3,000 toxic ingredients from their products. Canvas before you put the makeup on and share a little bit with everyone.
I would absolutely love to. Thank you, Bree, so much for that lovely intro. Hi, everyone. This is an extremely exciting time for all involved, especially me. It's like I get to go back to my roots and come back to the UK with you guys. So I've been doing this for about 14 years now. I don't know where time has gone, but somewhere along the way, I have, like Bree had mentioned, I've traveled the globe doing makeup for runways. I've been nominated for top special effects makeup from where I'm from, and I've done thousands and thousands of makeup applications with bridal makeup and brides and special events. So, a couple years ago, I was on the hunt to be a part of something bigger. And if there's any beauty professionals on this Zoom or any entrepreneurial minded people, and I'm sure all of you are because you're here today, you are always looking to uplevel your business. And what I found specifically for me is I loved my job so much, but I always get a tiny bit bored, you could say. So I'm always like, okay, how can I make this better? How can I uplevel one more step up from where I am? And I got really tired of it just strictly being a transactional relationship in my business. I would meet beautiful people around the world and it would kind of stop there. Obviously, I have my repeat clients and whatnot, but I wanted to extend it. So, with that being said, I wanted to be a part of a company that was bigger and greater than other companies I've been a part of before. I will say that one of the number one things that I look for in a company, and I'm going to piggyback on what Bree had mentioned previously, is the exclusiveness. Okay. And when Bree said that beauty professionals, we don't just want to be a part of anything. Okay. I've never wanted to put my name on something that I wasn't wholeheartedly invested in on a number of different areas. So you could say I'm really picky. And I tried and I dabbled in other companies and there was certain products that I was like, okay, this hits. And if you had looked at my professional makeup kit a year and a half ago, you would have seen skincare from multiple different companies. And we all know this, right? You guys probably in your bathroom, you're like, oh, I like this product from that. I like this product from that. There was never a company that I found that I'm like, dang, I can use this on all my clients. I can use this on my oily skin girlies. I can use this on my dehydrated skin girlies. I can use this on men for TV and film, right? So then I was introduced to this brand, like a fly on my hair. And when I started doing the research, I seen what Brie had said. I seen the exclusiveness. And I'm gonna take this a little bit step further so you guys understand what I mean by that. In Canada, K beauty is starting to trend hugely upwards and around the globe. So what's happening is other companies, like Brie had mentioned previously, that has always been the dominant space in business in Sephora and Ulta and all these companies, they're missing the main branding of K beauty, which if you guys know K beauty, you've seen it before, and Bree's probably going to go more in depth on this too in the further slides, but it's Centella Asiatica. Okay. So you'll see if you're walking in department stores, other companies are starting to throw that name on their boxing because they want a piece of the pie that they don't have that K Beauty has. The problem with that is they don't have the patent on it. They have dehydrated Centella asiatica. It's also known as tiger grass, like Brie had mentioned previously. Byung pool is another word for it. We call it giant byung pool. And we're the only ones that have that. So when I said that I needed to look for a company that kind of brought itself out, not one step forward from the background noise of a million different beauty companies in the industry that are amazing. There's lots of amazing companies out there. I always like comparing great companies to great companies. I don't necessarily need to compare something that's of Remon caliber to like down here. You know what I mean? If it can beat out my top branded companies that my celebrity clients use, pay attention, right? Not only that, but it can up level your business and you can bring people alongside of you. I have a lot of people that are like, is this a direct sales company? I wouldn't do it if it wasn't. And I truly wholeheartedly mean that. From the business side of me and the entrepreneurial side of me, and you guys might also feel this way, is you want a familiar environment that you can have relationships with, that you can lead with, that you can surround yourself with more educated people than you are. That's what I love about this. Like, you guys will hear from another amazing makeup artist here soon. And Bree, I just love surrounding myself with people that are more educated, smarter, better than me, because that's only going to take me from here to here. And what other business does that? The sky is the absolute limit for this. And if you're listening to this and you're intrigued, I promise you, you want to do your due diligence and take it that one step further and really educate yourself on this and don't miss the boat on this. Because when this launches in your country, you want to be a part of that multi-billion-dollar piece of the pie that Brie was talking about. Because in 5 years, you're going to think back and be like, oh, I saw that Zoom and that makeup artist told me and I missed the boat. So I'm going to hop on now. Start now, educate yourself now, talk to people about it. Whether it's a teenager, they're going to know what K-beauty is. They're going to know what K-pop is. We have one of the top producer in the company, K-pop star. Everybody in Korea knows his name. So there's a million and one things I could go on forever for. I'm gonna let Bree take it back over because she's amazing at educating on the slides to come. But yeah, if there's anything that I can do for you guys in the time to come, we'll be seeing each other's faces a lot. I could go on forever about this company. So I'm just privileged and honored to be a part of it and to spread the word and educate more on it and bring everyone along for the ride.
Thank you so much, Carissa. I love that industry viewpoint, just because you do see so many brands, and so you really evaluate things differently than the rest of us do. And I love what you said. If it wasn't direct sales, you wouldn't be doing it. And because I know you can earn up to 54% with this brand. And the reality is that people are going to be using this once they try it. I always warn people, I'm like, look, once you try this, you'll never stop. And you have to realize that once they put this on their skin, they're never going to stop using it, because once you see the results, you won't stop using it. And so for me, when I partnered with this brand, I actually walked away from one of the fastest growing teams in Europe to come here and partner here, because even though this is not in Europe yet, we're pre-launching in the UK. You guys, you're the first. This is ground level. But I knew that people were going to hear about this, and I wanted them to hear about it from me versus somebody else. And that's why I decided to walk away. And now I want to introduce you to a very special lady. This is Miss Mindy Gale, who is also a professional makeup artist. And she has actually been practicing for over 25 years. You guys, she has seen it all. She has had every brand, every product put in front of her. And this is her before and after picture right here. And this is shocking to me. Mindy, do you want to tell us a little bit about your before and after picture before I close the screen?
Sure. So the before, the top picture is me in September 2 years ago. I was taken at a conference that I was at. I did a selfie. It's kind of what I do over on Instagram, a lot of selfies. And I was like, this is a great picture. This is fantastic. I was using great skincare at the time. I've been able to get my hands on a lot of different kinds and was using really good skincare. And then the bottom was just taken 2 weeks ago at another conference in September, so 2 years later, and I was shocked at the difference, mainly in the texture. I'm the same. I've never had Botox, fillers, don't do any of that. Small town, small town country girl over here. I might be a professional makeup artist, but it's on a much, much smaller level here in a tiny corner of Utah. But what I've seen these do, I've been using the products now for a year. So for the last year, I've been using just Remon on my skin. And what I've noticed really, really quickly was the hydration, the amount of hydration, and just like it plumps without a filler, without plumping things. It does what nothing I've ever seen do before in my 25, almost 25 years here in the industry. But my favorite part, I think, is that this, like Chris said, this is so good for professionals. So med spas are loving this. Like when you add this into a treatment you're already getting at a med spa, it blows people's minds what it can do with that. But the part that I like the best is that this is for like the everyday person, man, woman, all of it, teens. I have 2 teenage girls. They love this. They know all about K beauty. Gen Z is all about the K-pop. They're all about the K beauty and the Korean skincare. And I don't want to just let them go into Sephora and get anything in there because I don't know what's in it. So to have really, really clean ingredients that work so quickly was what drew my attention. Because usually you can have something that's clean ingredients that works quickly, or that, crap, there was a third thing and now I can't remember. You can't have all three. And we have all three of them, which you usually don't, you usually can't get that. So I loved that it's something I can use, that my husband uses, but that I also have my kids using. And I feel really good about telling my neighbors, this is what you should be using. So if you're someone that is like, I love all things beauty, I love all things skincare, give me a 10-piece routine ritual I can do every night, we've got you covered. We've got your morning, your night, it's all done for you. You don't need to even have anything else added in, including the viral on TikTok collagen masks. Like, we have all of it, but the best version of it. But if you're someone that's a little more, I consider myself a little more simple, and I'm like, no, no, no. Listen, I love that you guys love a 10-piece beauty routine, but I'm going to wash my face and maybe you'll get me to put on 1 or 2 things. You can do just that with this, and you will see phenomenal results. So if you have something you're already loving, add in a couple products and watch it blow your mind. Or if you want to keep it just the bare basics, my husband doesn't do a whole routine. I barely got him to quit washing his face with the same bar of soap he uses to wash his bum and all his parts in the shower. Like, that was a big thing to be like, no, wash your face with something separate. So for him to do, he'll do the face wash and he'll do the Boosie Boo and the cream. And he's had ridiculous results. And he has friends that are coming and saying, what are you doing? What's happening with your skin? And I had people on Instagram say that to me. I came into this not doing the business. I was just going to be a customer because I had other business I was completely content with. And within a week of using these products, people on Instagram were messaging me and saying, your skin looks amazing. What makeup are you using? What's different? What foundation do you have on? And I had nothing. And I had to say, this is just my skin. So I finally had to talk about it because people noticed without me even having to say anything.
Wow. Wow. You were like selling me on the skincare all over again. I just want to go boo my face some more. If you don't know what that is, you'll find out. You will find out and you'll never want to stop using it. So let's jump back into a few things to tell you a little bit more about the company. Thank you so much for Carissa and Mindy for sharing. If you could light up the chat and tell them thank you so much. Now, here's the next thing I'm going to talk about is I'm going to talk about this, which I don't believe we're going to initially launch with this in the UK, but I want you to know what's coming. So this is called the Bodolab line. Now you have to realize most companies have one hero product and then they build out a portfolio of products around that. This has a whole separate hero product line, which is called Bodolab, and look what it does. They have clinical trials in Korea on how it grows hair. And so you can see the fullness, everything that's happening now. It's healing the scalp. This is like skincare for your scalp. The scalp psoriasis that the gal on the top has, that was after one wash. This is literally healing the scalp to allow the hair growth to come through. Now they also have, it's like skincare for your body, and it's going to also heal the skin on your body. Has hyalocollagen in it. It's going to help with crepiness, discoloration on the skin. Now, here's what I'm going to talk about is, there's a few things that I look for when I am going to partner with a brand. And one of the things is the reward system. Now, you can earn between 10 to 54% off of sharing a link for K-Beauty, Korean skincare, the #1 that sold $3 billion for people that are already searching for it on Google, online, on social media. It's normally in the US, it's $20 to partner with the company. Now, typically when they pre-launch, we're talking about this very early on, you guys, this is early on details. All the official details are coming out for the UK on September 23rd. but typically they waive that $20 enrollment fee. And they will have, you know, some different starter kits that are available. It's basically a better deal. You get more products for less money. Now we are paid 6 different ways. One of my favorite ways that we get paid is when you help other people become a leader and grow through the ranks, you can actually check match off of what they do. So you can earn anywhere from 5 to 40% off of other people's checks by helping them and developing them and sharing the skincare. So we talked a little bit about marketing. I showed you that video where they hired the producers who make videos for Toyota. They believe in first class marketing and celebrity endorsements. So I want to show you this. This is an example of one of the ads that they ran in Korea. This is Won Bin. Won is like the Brad Pitt of Korea. And this is one of the ads that they did with him. He doesn't actually typically do any collabs. He's one of the most famous actors in Korea, but he was so impressed with the skincare, he wanted to collab with this brand. And you can see this looks like a Versace commercial or a YSL commercial. This is the quality of the type of ads that they do. Not to mention, you guys, he's 49 years old. Can you believe that? It's the products. So they have multiple different collabs that they do with high-end brands. So they have a collab with Pentagram. Pentagram's the #1 marketing and branding firm out of New York. They work with brands like Valentino, Lululemon, Starbucks, and now Rebond. This really is the calm before the storm. You are going to see and hear about this brand. It's going to move very, very quickly. So the last thing that I look at is the ownership of the company. Now, this is actually Chairman On. Chairman On is the owner of Ask Labs, which is the #1 product formulation lab in Korea. Now, he has been in product formulation for almost 30 years. Just something interesting about him, he's had a lot of success in the industry. He's a billionaire that drives a Hyundai. The reason why I tell you that is because he is not doing this for the money. He is passionate about bringing luxury skincare to the everyday person. In fact, this dermatology cream, you have to realize, you know, remember, this is the one that sold 40 million jars in Korea. So this costs $60 US. So if I'm going to convert that to euros, it's going to be around 50 euros. For what this does, when we talk to dermatologists and master estheticians, they expect this to cost between $200 to $300 for the results that it gives. You saw Mindy's results. You saw my results. I would have paid 3 times as much to get those results. And so to also further prove it to you, the owner of the company, Chairman On, his first year in business, he actually took the profits from the first year and immediately started construction on this. This is called Rimon Village. It's a 5-star resort on Jeju Island. And what it is he built this for us. You guys, where most owners take the profits and they go buy a beach house or a yacht or a jet, he wanted to immediately put the money back into something for us to have events and leadership retreats at. And so they will have a very early on introductory promo that will allow you to qualify to go here. And I'm telling you, this is a 5-star trip. You go to this, you do not pull out your credit card or your wallet the entire time you're there. They bring in celebrity chefs. We were here last October. We're going back again next month. They actually bring in, they brought in the winner of America's Got Talent. They perform for us. You get to go see the smart farm. You're in these smart villas. You put your clothes in the closet, you press a button and it steams your clothes. This truly is a trip of a lifetime. And so while we were there, we were going to see the smart farm and we pulled up and it was several blocks of facilities. And what I learned when I visited this is that this company is completely vertically integrated. And what that means is they own every step of the process from farm to face. So what that means is they own the land, they own the labs, they own the smart farms, they even own the bottling facility that makes the bottles that the product comes in. So why would they do that? They do it to cut out the middleman. So they have more money to put into innovation and marketing and the compensation plan. And so when we were here, we learned how the owner, Chairman On, he has mapped out a 100-year vision on how he wants to become the number one K-beauty brand in the world. And he wants to do it with us. And I'm telling you right now, he's not competing with brands like Nu Skin or Pharmacy or Mary Kay or Rodan and Fields. The brands that he is competing with are brands like Chanel and Dior and La Mer. Those are the brands that he's going after. And when I heard this, I realized in this moment that this is bigger than network marketing. And I wanted to know why he decided to partner with this company, with this industry. And the reason why he chose this industry is because he believes, oh, if you guys can make sure you're muted, somebody can find that. Mindy, if you can find that. So the reason why he chose this industry is because he had been involved in network marketing in his 20s and had fallen in love with it. And in Korea, this is what I learned. In Korea, they view network marketing very differently than the rest of the world. They view it as a profession and it's very respected. So he knew that he wanted to specifically partner with this. And he has mapped out a plan on how he wants to become, the number one K-beauty brand in the world. We talked about that, but also how he wants to be in over 50 countries in the next 5 years. So when I say this is going to move fast, it's going to move fast. So this is what we're looking at on the UK launch schedule. So what's going to happen is on September 23rd is when we will have a pre-launch site that will open that will have all of the information for the UK market. Then on October 17th is when the House of Riemann opens. That will be the office at that ARC building. And then this is when you can officially start enrolling online. Now, we will also have some pre-launch meetings that will take place in the UK. It will be at the Novotel London Hotel. And so that will happen on October 18th and 19th. And then on October 27th is when the product will begin shipping. So if you are on this Zoom and you are in Europe right now, okay? If you're in Europe, I want to encourage you, if you know people in the UK or the US or Canada or Mexico or Korea, Taiwan, Singapore, Malaysia, the Philippines, we're only in 8 markets right now. We're opening up number 9 next month, which is the Philippines. And also number 10 will be UK. Japan will be by the end of this year. If you are in Europe and maybe we're not open in your country yet, what you need to do is you need to get a link through Hong Kong. Hong Kong is considered a free market. Because it's a free market, you can pre-enroll through Hong Kong. You can then get a 33 card, which is how you'll be paid commissions. You can then start enrolling people in markets that we are already open in. You can also enroll people maybe in Europe who want to get their spot. You won't be able to have products shipped to you yet. So, because obviously you're signing up in Hong Kong, but what you can do is if you want to get the products when they start shipping the product on October 27th, you can always set up a customer account in the UK, have it sent to a freight forwarder. The freight forwarder can ship it to you if you're in Norway, Sweden, the Netherlands, wherever you are. So I do want to let you know that I know we have some Europeans on here and you're like, hey, what about us? Don't worry, we have you covered too. So that is really the plan. I want you to get back to the person that invited you. They're going to send you your link. And then when they send you your link, you can change the flag through to Hong Kong if you need to pre-enroll there. I also want you to scan this QR code, take a picture, and I want you to RSVP for this launch event happening on October 19th. This will sell out. This is the one that will be at the Novotel London Hotel. Now, like I said, you can pre-enroll on October 17th. Ask the person that shared this with you how to get started. If you want to get started earlier, like I said, you can pre-enroll through Hong Kong. Now, this is the plan, okay? You can see the white are the markets that were open. I went over those with you. Japan and the UK are opening up later this year. We also have Chile, Colombia, and Peru opening up first quarter of next year, as well as Italy, Spain, and Ireland. Like I said, we're going to move very, very quickly to become the #1 K-beauty brand worldwide. This is the end goal. This is where we'll be in the next 5 to 10 years. We will be across the globe. We will be the #1 K-beauty brand. And we want to do it with you. So I want to thank you so much for hopping on. Please get back to the person that invited you if you have any questions. And we're happy to answer any questions you have. And just be ready. You guys get ready. This is a grassroots campaign right now. So get ready. Talk to as many people as you can, because I promise you they're going to hear about it from you or somebody else. Thanks, everyone, and have a great night if you're in the UK.